Everybody. We're back after a extended end of summer break. Here we go again. Who was first in the chat today? Let's see. Joel Riquelme, what's up? Hello. Camel P is in the house. Facundo Marquez, welcome. Josh Holiday, happy Saturday. And Live Society and Stereo Decor, nice one. What's up, Mike Harding? Yes, Selway Saturday hits. You're getting it. I think I need one too. Nice. Tom Relic. Nice surprise. Is it a surprise? I guess it's all relative. I'm surprised. Eatsy's here. How's it going? And Simple Sam, one of our longest time viewers. Glad to have you back. And save techno. Yes, I think we all agree. Whatever that means to you. Yes, save techno. Excellent. We got Mosky Man. That's a new name. Welcome. Ty Blue. Thank you. Glad to be back. And Functor. Yes. Nice crew to start off the show. It's easy going. I'm feeling easy going today. It's a kind of let's flow and see what happens kind of a day. I'll tell you what I've been up to lately, and we'll get into making some weird noises or something. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. It's Selway Techno Saturday, back again on 343 Labs. TV here on YouTube, 343 Labs Music Production School. If you didn't already know, if you're new here, we're here in New York City. We do lots of music education, electronic music production. I do a synthesis and sound design course. We have our one-year program, which we are just coming up on our first graduating class of our one-year program. The students have been doing their live performances. We've had a couple already. I got the final one coming up this week at different venues here in New York City. And yeah, we're wrapping things up. It's exciting. And there's been so much, progress. Like I've seen people grow so much in the last year, and people who are already good, just refining their craft, and people who've never performed before or performing for the first time. There's a really amazing crew of people here, and it's been really rewarding to watch them go through it. And we have another cohort that's, going to be wrapping up their year in a few months. So yeah, a lot going on here at 343 Labs. That's what we do. If you want to find out more about that, of course, you know what to do. There's links below to go to our websites for our New York school and our Berlin school and learn about all our online classes. And yeah, if you've been around here for a while, I know a good number of you who are watching right now, who are in the chat right now, have been here from the beginning. That this is my, fairly regular thing that I do almost every Saturday. Used to be Techno Tuesdays, moved it to Saturdays. I think it's easier for people to be available to watch on Saturdays. And anyway, for the foreseeable future, we're going to keep doing it. We do our regular, just me hanging out with you guys, like what's happening right now. And sometimes I have guests. It's been, I have to say, since, when it was COVID and lockdown and people were not doing gigs as much, it was easier to get guests. Lately, especially since it's a Saturday, a lot of the people I've been asking to be on the show are like doing gigs on Saturdays. So it's a little tricky. So that's another thing I was thinking about. Like maybe if we occasionally do a weekday or another day where people aren't on the road or something, and maybe it would be easier to get in some of these guests. Also, I want to have more in-person guests. I've done that a couple times. It's fun to do it, to have people here in the studio. So definitely going to get back to that. And also, of course, we do our feedback sessions, right? We did one. I had Tim Xavier on with me. I think that was the last one we did. And I think we should do an electro one next, maybe. Or maybe we'll mix it up. Maybe we'll just not even say a genre. Just do whatever you want and see how it goes. Let's see. Who else is here in the chat? We got Live Society. We got Bioni or Bioni? Bioni Samp, interesting name. Karsten Becker's here. And Simple Sam, you're right. Simple Sam saying, ask people that have a gig in New York that day. I do that. I do it all the time. And you know what happens? Oh, I can't get up that early. Oh, I have to be on a flight. Or they're playing on a Friday and then they're flying out immediately on Saturday. Like, it's very rare that people are hanging out the whole weekend. So, but yeah. Also, okay, and I have a lot to do here. I don't just do the stream on Saturdays. I'm helping run the school. I'm helping do administration. I'm like head of academics here for the one-year program and everything. And also, I became a de facto construction manager. Oh, that's another exciting thing. That's one of the reasons I took a break, aside from just hanging out and doing stuff with my family and everything for the summer. Was we've been finishing up our new space. We've got two units in this building now, and we're more than doubling our capacity. We've got a new event space. We're having a new studio, acoustically treated, nice sounding room. We're going to set all that up now. that the construction's pretty much finished. We have an isolated booth for recording vocals or smaller instruments, and another classroom. So, and then I have to set up all of the cameras and the lights and the stuff for when we stream downstairs in the new space. So that's what I've been up to lately, more than making music and finding guests to be on the show. But we'll get back into the groove. Today, I'm talking, we're hanging out. I'm trying out a new Max for Live device I just found that I just saw someone post about that looks pretty dope. And I don't know. Oh, I see. Itzy wants. Okay, yeah, I'll book you. Well, yeah, right. I haven't been into like doing events or DJing or doing shows in so long. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to make something happen. So many ideas, so many things to do, so many ways that I need to keep organized and to plan ahead and to meet my goals. I actually last night, I'm just going to keep talking. I feel like talking before we get into the music. I got a message on WhatsApp yesterday in the afternoon from Anthony Rother. He played here in New York last night. I had no idea he was coming. I've been so caught up in all this other stuff and not paying attention to who's traveling and doing what gigs or anything. And here in Brooklyn at Public Records, right? Really nice venue. And he did his hybrid DJ live set thing and everybody loved it. It was great. And we hung out after and had a nice discussion about stuff like, hey, John, you've been making all these tracks. Why aren't you releasing them? You need to make a plan, right? So he was giving me some good advice. Anthony Rother, he's been on the show, and he's revered as a producer, and rightly so. He's like such high quality, knows what he's doing, really amazing electro producer, and so consistent and organized. And he gave me some good advice about, making a plan. So that was really great to run into him. I was out. I don't stay out late anymore. I'm an old guy, right? But I was at the club. I didn't get home until 4:30, which is really, for me, really, really late. And that's why I'm kind of taking it easy and just hanging out with you guys today. And I'm in this kind of. I'm not hungover, honestly, but I'm tired and I'm spacey, and I'm feeling like making some weird hypnotic meditative stuff. That's sort of musically, that's what we're going to get into today. But what are you guys talking about in the chat? I have a new setup here now. I changed my camera. It's in this it's an Elgato camera, this thing, and I've got it inside of there. They've got this prompter, it's a teleprompter. So I'm like, I can see right now. I'm looking at the camera and I see the chat right behind it. So I can like read the chat and talk to you guys directly. You can use it for Zoom calls too. It's really cool. But yeah, Sai says hypnotic dub tech. Yeah, I don't know. It isn't dubby. I could make it dubby, but it is hypnotic. That's definitely what's happening in my live, which I'm about to show you. Let's see. DJ Emo. Hello, frequency slaves. Hope your transients are treating you well. Yes. And Camel Piece mentioning that the Advent was here recently. I wanted to go to that. I really was kicking myself, to go say hi to Cisco and see him and Joey Beltram play at an underground party here in New York. That would have been dope. I'm really I really regret not going to that. I hope he gets to come back. And Taibu mentions Thomas Heckman. Thomas B. Heckman would be, man, to get him on. I've looked up to him as a producer since the beginning. That would be great. You're right. So good idea. And you're mentioning that he did an electro album. So yeah, I mean, he's someone he's been doing all kinds of hard techno and acid and electro and all. You know what he does. He's great. Hello, Jonathan Bremer. What's up? Yes, hypnotic grooves. So yeah, I have this kind of thing going on here. Let's see if the audio's coming through. You hear that? That is what's happening. That is what is. I was trying to decide, do I have a sketch or something that I started? This actually, I was making some sounds in class. We were doing physical modeling synthesis, and I made a couple of weird noises with physical modeling And you know, you've seen me do this before. This isn't a like, hey, look at all this new stuff we can learn today. This is a me just messing around, doing what I usually do day, and hanging out with you guys, and maybe it'll be interesting. So yeah, I have this crazy pattern going on. My go-to Max for Live pattern sequencer, or not pattern sequencer, just step sequencer. Of course, there's newer ones. There's like that MDD Snake, and there's like a million Max for Live sequencers. I don't know why I keep using this old mono sequencer. It's just so fast and simple, and just gets exactly what I want really quickly usually. Just randomly generating a 5-step polymetric pattern. Little velocity going on there. That's it. And that's running into an electric. I'm going to turn these effects off for a second. And one of the things we talk about in sound design class when we're learning about physical modeling is breaking the model, right? Like just... This is supposed to be an electric piano, but it's a broken electric piano. It's doing clanky, weird, techno percussive things. And you know, if you play around with it enough, you start going, "Oh, that does sound kind of like an electric piano, but a weird one." A little more like if I switch it to the Wurlitzer model, it sounds a little less hollow, a little more solid, and that's a little more metallic, ringy. I mean, they're both kind of ringy, right? And just some simple effects, a chorus. I haven't used. Do you guys use the color limiter in live? Just limiting with some saturation and character. I wanted to control those peaky hits, so I put that on there and made it a little dirty. Who said Saturation Saturday earlier? Yeah, I mean, saturation. I was like, I could go overboard and put roar on this, since we're gonna do Saturation Saturday right now. Let's distort this like crazy, just because. Where is it? Oh, I'm in the Max for Live folder. That's why I don't see it. Roar. See, you can tell if I'm like slow loading a device, I didn't sleep enough. Actually, let's put it before though. Before the limiter, just in case it gets crazy. What? All right, that's not hypnotic anymore. That's kind of unpleasant. It's crazy when you adjust the bias of a distortion effect and it does this chopping, like gating kind of thing. I guess if we wanted to get tweaky and wonky, that would be a good effect, but I feel like it's a little bit much for this. I'm not doing a roar tutorial. I'm just playing around. That is just me screwing around. So that's kind of inexcusable. Yan Cook did some really cool stuff. You guys watch these Yan Cook videos? He's so good. He's such a good pure techno guy, and he uses a lot of live devices. And I like how he steps through everything real careful. I'm so not like that. I'm so just haphazard and let's see what this does and fooling around. And you watch his videos, and it's just like do this and then do this. It's like step by step breaking down exactly how he did it very clearly. I like that. But yeah, I saw he was using roar a lot in some videos recently, and it's pretty cool. Using this as a delay, like distortion and delay together with that feedback, sounds really cool. All right, but you know what? Honestly, this is kind of just I'm free associating here. Someone mentioned saturation, and I started distorting things. I'm actually gonna get rid of that. I want to keep this the way it was, like a little more clean and echoey and smooth and atmospheric. Just that is so nice. The panning happening. The subtle chorus phasey kind of thing going on. All right. And I have a kick drum. And rather than using a typical 909, and this was also part of the class, was using collision to make a kick drum that isn't just a, you know, it has a bit of a character to it. So this is what we've got. It's like a ringy, resonant stereo kick drum, which is a little dangerous to have the low end in stereo, actually. But it sounds cool when I listen to it in mono here in the studio. Actually, let's put a utility after it, and make it mono. It doesn't cancel. So like, if the sub is stereo and it doesn't cancel, is that okay? There's, you know, there's so many times in mixing they say, oh, your low end needs to be in mono. I'm like, yeah, but if you play it over a system and it's stereo and it doesn't cancel, then maybe it's okay. I think it sounds cool. But if you want to be real safe about it, you do this, the bass mono trick, and you just get the subs in mono, and then the rest of it is stereo. And you know, if we can put it into mono again. Actually, I'm going to duplicate this and just. You lose the ringiness a little bit. It's more the mids that cancel a little bit. It still sounds good though. Actually, that reminds me of something. Speaking of Yan Cook, I was watching, this is an older tutorial of his, where he was making everything that was wide more mono on purpose, right? I think he wanted it not to be too wide and have it kind of focused in and be more powerful in the middle. That could actually be good for techno, to not be too wide. It just depends on like how much, you know, what are people going to listen to it in headphones? Do you want it to like kind of tickle their ears and have this super wide stereo field? Or do you want it to have like punch and power in the middle and sound good on any sound system? So something to think about. Interesting, different way of thinking about your mix. Everybody's trying to make their mixes so wide, but maybe it's actually a good idea not to. Anyway, depends on what you want. All right, so that's the kick drum. If you want, you know, we can break it down a little bit how I did it. So I've got the mallet, right? Making this little, the mallet's just hit, that's what's hitting the drum. And it's pretty stiff. It's making that little pop. And there's a little bit of noise, but not too much. I don't want it to be too ticky. And that's going into the membrane resonator with a pretty short decay. A little less bright. So again, I don't want it too ticky. I want more of a punchy kind of sound. And then you can play around with the inharmonic tuning of the partials inside this resonator. And I wanted it to be a little bit more mid-range, right? With like a knock. And then the bleed over here is letting through the sound of the sound of the collision. So it just makes it a little bit brighter. And then there's a pitch envelope, because almost always when you synthesize a kick drum, there's a little pitch modulation in there. All right, and then that in turn is going into resonator 2, and that's what's making the boom. That's what's making the full tone. And it's a membrane. It has a longer decay. If I wanted it to be less ringy, I could bring that down. Or I could make it longer if I wanted to drone. And it has a little rumble in there too. It's like whoa, 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 from the detuning between the harmonics. Yet another way to make a rumble. And that's all stuff I could play with. All right, so that's what we did. Just a little lesson at 343 Labs and synthesis class about how to use physical modeling to make a unique kick drum. And then I ended up doing this with it. What are you guys talking about? Yeetse is talking about new sequencers in live beta. Yeah, I haven't even loaded up the new live beta yet. I really should. Maybe we'll do that on the stream coming up, because I think it's about time that I check it out. Y'all are just chilling out and listening, aren't you? You haven't been talking that much. That's okay. Anyway, so that's what I have, and I'm thinking about not so much sound design wise, but like, what do I want to add to this track? Like, I thought some more percussion would be good. I thought some I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go in a melodic kind of direction to have like a musical bass line or a pad or like a melody on top of this, or and then I thought, what if we just try to keep it really simple and pure and have it just be kind of a drone, almost ambient kind of a thing going on. And I remembered that this Max for Live device just came out called Vector Drone. Honestly, I saw the name of it and I saw like the video of it, and I didn't even read about I just bought it immediately. It's only a few dollars. And actually, where's this guy? What is the name here? That's the URL, if you can see it. Remo DeVico, composer, right? And he makes crazy Max for Live stuff, like this video drums thing. I don't know if you guys have seen him before, but this Vector drum is a new one. And I mean, it even looks the part, right? The XY oscilloscope thing going on here is great just to stare at while you're tripping out. So that's what we're playing with, is we've got this Vector drone. I'm going to turn the kick drum down a little bit, make it be more sort of synth forward. Oh, what just happened? There's some kind of modulation going on in this thing. It's clicking. It's always dangerous. You try a new plugin and you're like, you have no idea what's going on and how it works and why it's doing what it's doing. Let's investigate. Oh yeah, there's definitely some kind of cross mod going on here, and you can see it's clicking. And there's probably because it's like one of these, maybe a pulse or a sawtooth happening at a very slow, 0.1 rate here. Oh, actually that's not the rate down here. That's the amplitude of this whatever this modulator is. I already love it. Just those two waveforms doing cross mod, going in and out of phase with each other is beautiful. What did I just do? Ooh, I love this. Like you have to listen carefully. Like, whoa, that's crazy. Let's turn it down a little bit. That is generating a lot of sub. Let's clean that up a little bit. I don't want to, I'm gonna shelve it. I could just sit here and listen to this all day with some reverb on it. Let's try it. But let's put a fancy reverb on it, like a Valhalla or something. Supermassive. I'm not going to be able to talk anymore now. Like, this is just going to completely take over my brain. Whew. Why am I not wearing headphones right now? And this is just starting from the default mode of Supermassive. Put a little chorus on there. Ooh. Is this gonna work with the track? I don't care. Let's go through some presets, just get some ideas. I'm gonna try these weird FX presets. Ooh. Let's just leave it there. Let's go back and play with the vector thing. All right, so we've only had one vector at this point. Let's get in that. We've had X going on. Let's get some Y in there. What did I just do? Okay, I'm starting to get a handle for what this thing does. I think the left buttons, which you can barely see in this theme that I have, are which waveform each vector is. All right. I don't even know if what I'm doing works with this, so now I have to listen and see if I can make it fit together. Like, what key am I in? Is this even in a key? Does it even matter? How do I reset this thing? All right, I think I need to get this stuff needs to be. You can make a chord with it. Can't even hear what I'm doing. This is hard to tune. I'm telling you right now, this is really hard to get it to sound musical. Or at least to get it to sound musical relative to another part. It probably would make more sense to start with this. If you're trying to do something harmonic, it would make sense to start with this and then tune everything else to this, because this is out. Oh man, this thing is out there, right? Boy. I'm going to keep trying though. Let's see if we can do it. Because there's all these like side bands being created at different ratios, like it's going. Oh yeah, hit shift for fine tuning. You need that. All right, let's see what these filters do. I love it when I'm just figuring out a plugin and I've never read the documentation and I have no idea what's doing what. I want this to be lower and deeper and richer. See how hard, you can hear how hard it is to control what pitch it is, right? It sounds really good when it's slow like that. It keeps doing stuff that totally blows my mind. It's so cool. What is happening? I might have to rethink what I'm doing here. Let's take a pause, because we are so far out in outer space right now. I love how this sounds, but I don't know if I can make it work with this. Like, it's just so intense. It just wants to be all by itself, taking over your mind. But yeah, let's talk about it for a second. I need to clear my brain. I mean, it's kind of, this is really intense when you're a little bit hungover. You know what I'm saying? How's everybody doing out there? What are you guys talking about? Tom Relic says proper spaced out electrical tones and reminds him of Coil. Oh my gosh, Coil. Seriously, that's some deep stuff you're talking about. I haven't heard that Time Machines album though, so I should probably check that out. Cool. Now, Doug. Hey, what's up, Doug? Yes, Zoinks. Zoinks, this sounds crazy. You know how you're spending your afternoon now. Totally down the rabbit hole with this thing. You can just put some headphones on and put some effects on this and just, I would recommend, if you're going to do that, to record audio of everything. That's what I would say. Or like, record audio of you messing around and then resample it and play around. That's going to make it a lot easier to use sort of compositionally if you're not just trying to make weird drones, right? Definitely want to turn this into audio, sample it, chop it up, play different notes, use it as a way of generating new sounds, whatever. Yeah, this is great. Okay. And yes, Tom, we're all going to zone out. Let's keep zoning out. All right, I'm going to, well, let's just pause and do our station identification. You know, you're watching Selway's Techno Saturdays here on 343 TV. We don't call it 343 TV anymore officially. I just like calling it 343 TV. Brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City and in Berlin and in the universe, throughout the universe, right? We're just transmitting all the way out there as far as we can. I like to think about it that way, that like all data that goes out into the universe just exists forever, and you know, it just goes into the ends of the universe and becomes one with the stars. Oh my God. What am I talking about? But you know what I mean? Like it's all digital information, and once it exists, it's, you know, it's just all numbers and it's all frequencies and it all, I'm just getting deep now, right? I swear I'm not microdosing or anything. I knew today was going to be weird. I just knew it coming in. I was going to be like spacing out, feeling the way I'm feeling, only having like a couple of hours of sleep and coming in here and playing with this vector drone thing. I knew it was just going to get weird. Nice one. So, okay. We've done our station identification. Ivu doesn't believe me. He's like, he's so microdosing. I think there were some people at the club last night that were mushrooming the way they were talking. So cool, man. Let's get weird again. Let's just keep getting weird. I'm gonna try to do something before we run out of time. I'm gonna try to do something with this groove. At least add another layer, whether it's this drone or not. So my initial idea for using this drone thing with this thing was to make like a low bass drone, like a note that just goes underneath it. So maybe I can come up with like a nice, thick, juicy bass drone. I won't care too much about whether it's in tune or not, and then I'll turn it into audio, and then we'll sample it, and then we'll tune it to the right note without breaking the sound. Because anytime I tried to like tune this thing to a specific note, it broke the sound. I think that's just the nature of the beast. It's not meant to be played like that. All right. And I kind of want it to be not that crunchy. Let's just play around with this for a second and try to get something fatter and warmer. Or I could filter it. Whatever that's doing is great. The duty cycle thing, what is this doing? It's just duty cycle controls. It doesn't say duty cycle of what. It's changing how the waveform is shaped. Maybe I need some chiller waveforms. Maybe there's too much noise. It's sounding getting video game sounding now. Ooh, sweet spot. It might be too wobbly to be a sustained bass note, though. Dude, I can just listen to this all day. Screw making techno. All right. I don't know what that's doing. I broke it. I really like how that sounds. So let's just stick with that. Let me see what the filters do. What? Okay. Let's not break that. That's such an awesome sound. Let's resample it. Do it the easy way. Resampling, arm the track. Ah. No, I don't want to play it like that. Let's do, instead of resampling, let's come straight from the vector drone. And I'm going to do it pre-effects. Get it straight out of the device without any EQ or anything. Let's try this again. Maybe I'll just make a new track out of this. Okay, whatever that was. Holy moly. All right, so now I have an audio clip of this. Let's put that in, oops, not an audio track. Let's put that in a simpler or sampler or something. And, yeah, simpler's fine. And now we can play it. All right. And now I want to get the key now. Let's do it in here. Let's put in a MIDI clip. For some reason, this note is sticking in my head as something. All right, I'm not going to worry about a rhythm or anything yet. I think I just want it to kind of float there. All right. Okay. I could granularize this. That'd be something. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm just going to do some stuff. Simple stuff. Sawtooth, modulating, filter. Oh boy. I think I like that. Simple. It's old school. Let's put a roar on that. You think that would be completely irresponsible? Just to totally destroy it? Since it's Saturation Saturday now again? Oh my God. This took a turn. It's apocalyptic now. Is that too loud? All right, that might be another track. Because I feel like that would just totally take over this light kind of trippy one, right? I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe. It might be different enough. One's layer, the base layer, a drone layer, is like warm and thick and rich, and this is clean and bright and acoustic sounding because it's the physical model. And actually, this thing has modulation, doesn't it? I'm gonna do that same thing, just have like a 1-bar down sawtooth thing. Maybe it doesn't need to be every bar. Maybe it needs to be some other rhythm. I don't know. Getting polymetric now. Okay, gonna keep playing around here. What was I thinking? There we go. 2 LFOs. The slow one and the fast one. And they're offsetting each other, like. Let's bring that. I'm getting confused about what's what here. Where's the filter frequency there? That's a lot of fun, just to play with these amounts. Where's that kick drum? Now we're jamming a little bit. It's less hypnotic and more driving. I need a hi-hat, right? Ah! Too loud. Oh my God, go away. Yeah, no, we're not gonna. All right, I'm not gonna think too hard about sound design and the perfect hi-hat sample. I'm just gonna pick whatever. That's really sharp and cutting. Let's start with eighth notes and go from there. I'm happy with this. I mean, where did it come from? Ah! So it's got that, even though it's filtered and it's just subtractive synthesis now, it's got that power under it. And I don't know if you noticed, there's this eighth note chopping thing going on in the reverb, which I forgot about. That's great. All right. Irresponsible roar usage. Just going to add even more noise and brightness to the hi-hat. I don't know about the mix. Could play around with the broken electric piano. Okay. How are we doing, everybody? I'm getting lost in it. I got to take a breath here. We're almost out of time. Let's hang out for a minute and decompress. I'm going to drink some water. Simple Sam says, roar-bellious. Yes. Being completely irresponsible with roar. And it's not actually. It's just, distortion is awesome. We got, let's see, Facundo seems to like it. Thank you. Dinya, I don't know what you're saying in Cyrillic, but I hope it's nice. Hey, James, yes, great switch up. What do you mean switch up? Like going from the deep and hypnotic to like the rah, heavy stuff? And yeah, Doug, the double LFO, like, I mean, I could have, there's always a million different ways to do things with modulation. I could have had one more complex modulator, but this is two simple ones combining together in an interesting way. And Yeah, glad you guys are enjoying the feel. And Josh Holiday says really Richie Houghton-ish. Yeah, maybe. I guess earlier when it was a little more dry and precise, right? Now it's getting a little, but yeah, maybe. I'm not. That's not a diss. He makes some good stuff sometimes, right? Cool. So nice comments from you guys. Thank you very much, and thanks for hanging out with me. This went by fast, right? Like, I honestly just. I'm the kind of person that it's just impossible for me to hide how I really feel. And I know I just said it right out up front. I'm a little tired today. I went out last night. I was in kind of a spacey mood, but I think it went fine. And this was a nice sort of warm up, coming back, getting into the swing of things kind of a show today. So, you know what? I want to listen, but we got a couple minutes. I'm going to just real quick. This is good. Like let's before we call it completely. So we're in a good spot. It needs some more development. Needs some more elements. The hi-hats are. I need to think about the hi-hats. I might want to do something. I could do different versions of it where it stays more deep and chill, and then there's another one that gets more intense. I think someone mentioned something like that in the chat. But let's just. So we've got a good direction for a track. But just coming back to this thing again, it's so great. I'm gonna put a different reverb on this. Oh no, granular. Let's put fragments on this. I mean, there's a million different granular effects, but fragments is my favorite granular audio plugin right now. Oh, wrong. Put it here. Okay, that's too pretty. The fifths are nice, the filtered fifths here. So this could be really pretty with some harmonizing on top of it. Some of these I still don't know what they're doing. I need to read up on what this thing does. Oh, that's nice. Oh, man. This is so crazy. What was it? Interesting, weird harmony in that. All right, what's going on here with fragments? I just had to completely go deep with this before we wrapped up today. Let's try another preset. Oh, I like the sequenced pitch modulated ones. They're great. Kick drum. Oh, sorry, I just ruined it. Bear with me. I was just going to hear this one thing with the kick drum. Track number 3 today. I forgot to put the screen share back on. All right, I like this. Gonna do some little triplets in here. Let's experiment. Down. Maybe that. I had to break it up. Okay, you hush. That was too much. I don't know. I felt a little moment of inspiration there, so I'm glad that you all got to be here for that. That was excellent. Thanks again, everybody, for coming back and being here for the latest season start of Selway Techno Saturday. Now that we're getting into the fall, we're getting back into the swing of things after the summer, and getting down to business. I think that's what's happening. So I will see you again next week. We've got, I'm trying to figure out, like, what are we going to do from here? Maybe I'll continue working on this track, or maybe we'll start a new one. Or, you know, per my conversation with Anthony out there last night, providing myself some better structure to, like, get some shit done, I think is really what I need to be doing. So you guys are along for the ride. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Adios.